another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obuchi, and good to be here with you. As I always say, it's day 216, 216 days since over 200 girls were abducted from the government secondary school in Chibok, Borno State, and we still don't have them back. We don't have any answers. We were not closer to answers than we were last week. We don't know what the situation is with them. We've heard so many stories about some of them being married off and killed and all of that, but nothing confirmed. The last official news we heard from the federal government was that they knew where they were and that they were going to be free at some point, but it looks like all of that is hogwash, basically. We don't know where the girls are, and it's unfortunate because, 216 days, it's almost a year as it is now. A whole year is almost there, and we don't know anything about these girls. More girls haven't been abducted, more children. We've heard about killings in several other schools across the northeastern part of Nigeria. It's very hard to take all of this in, especially as politics is taking the air seriously now, and security, or the lack of it, is going to take the back seats at least maybe until May next year. So it makes you wonder what's going to happen with our lives going forward in the couple of months that are coming. We do hope that, I don't know where the answers are going to come from, but I think I say this every week. Mr. President does need to talk to us and tell us, give us some hope at least that things are going to get better with security in this country. But speaking of politics, it was a very, very interesting week in politics this year. Mr. President officially declared for president. He held a massive rally in Abuja with his party, the PDP, right behind him. He has declared that he's going to run for a second term officially, and I think the race is officially on. There's not a candidate, I think, from the PDP, so his side of things already sorted. The APC, on the other hand, also had a very interesting twist to their race this year. Aminu Tambuwal, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, shocked most people. Most people thought he resigned, or he was going to leave to go run for governor of Sokoto State. Well, he did join the presidential race, and things are looking very interesting for the APC now. There's him, there's Buhari, Atiku, Kwankwaso. It's a very interesting dynamic there. We don't know what's going to happen. Some say he might be the anointed flag bearer. Buhari, of course, is a serious front runner there. So their primaries is going to be very interesting to watch and see how things shape up there. Leaving politics now, back to Boko Haram actually. We had both good and bad news from the northeastern part of Nigeria this week. We did hear about this town of Mubi being reclaimed by hunters and vigilante members, sort of in collaboration with the Nigerian military. But at the same time, we heard about two other villages, Hong and Gombe, falling as well to the Boko Haram in Adamawa State. So while we seem to be reclaiming some, the insurgents seem to be taking a lot more than we actually want to believe they are. It's a very tough time for Nigeria to deal with. We also heard about a bomb blast, I think, on Friday in Kano State, which killed at least 6 people. So these things are still going on. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we don't know how long this is going to go on for. It's looking like it's going to be a very tough couple of months going forward. We hope our security officials are on top of things. Let's hope politics does not blindside everybody and things get even worse than they already are. And finally now to some very interesting news. Yesterday, the Super Eagles finally won another game, and it looks like we might be heading to the Nations Cup. Hopefully they win against South Africa on Wednesday. Looking forward to that match as well, and hopefully the Super Eagles bring some good news to our lives. We seem not to have a lot of that in Nigeria these days. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking INEC. Please stay with us. Welcome back now. We're going to be talking about Independent National Electoral Commission and the 2015 elections which are coming. A lot of states have gone through their permanent voter registration and collection of their PVCs as well. But I have two guests in the house who are going to be talking about with me. Chetan Wang's a journalist. Thanks for being here today. And of course, Mohammed Brima, thanks for coming. Thank you. The PVCs is all everybody's talking about on a permanent voters collection. I think that's what it is. Permanent voters cards collection, yeah. And a lot of problems seem to have come up, especially in Lagos State, which is where we are today. How do you think INEC is doing so far?
Okay, for a start, we're in Ogun State.
Yes, actually.
But that aside, they are doing terribly. It's a logistical nightmare, and they are making dog's meat out of the whole thing. You would have expected that, having not had all these years to get ready for it, that we won't have had issues. And when you look at some of their processes, you begin to wonder whether this thing is designed to disenfranchise some people. This is not a case of crying wolf. Basically, for example, I have moved since 2011. And to tell me that I have to go back to where I used to be before in order to collect my
card,
PVC, then go to write a letter to the state rec, and you have moved.
I have moved.
You have moved in that time.
Most people have moved since 2011.
Okay, so that's 3 out of 3. So the question is, how many letters is the guy going to sign? Is he a signing machine? It's a logistical nightmare, and you know, when a process is difficult, a lot of people will just lose interest, which is disenfranchisement.
Yeah. You talk about disenfranchisement, and the governor of Lagos State, Fashola, was on a political show on channels actually last Sunday in the evening, and he mentioned the same thing. It almost looks as if there's an intention to disenfranchise people in Lagos. 11 local governments out of 21, I think, have done their PVCs. The other 10, I think, are going to be doing theirs from the 28th of November, and this came with no information at all. Some people went to their polling booths and saw nothing. Most people don't even know about the new dates. So it makes you wonder, is this a deliberate thing? Do you think that's what could be the case?
One tends to wonder, because there are a lot of questions, there are a lot of unanswered questions right now. We're looking at a situation where they were not woken up, 3 days ago or on Thursday and said, okay, you have to go to Lagos. Let's put into perspective that this distribution of voters' cards is a third phase of a 3-phase exercise. And this is made to reduce the pressure on INEC, for sharing these voters' cards. The third phase is just 13 states. And out of 13 states, you come to Lagos, the day before is when you announce that you will not be able to deliver the voters' cards across the 20 INEC, so to speak, local governments. Why announce this I think it was just a day before they announced this. Why the sudden announcement? All the logistics, due to logistical challenges, that's what they put in place. You had, like my colleague rightly said, 4 years to prepare for this, and a day two, you're realizing you can't cover the local government. The 11 local governments you had to cover. The governor also made Friday a public holiday to make it, easier for people to collect. And that day practically was wasted. Because at least in my own polling booth, I went there around 1 p.m. and the lady there said INEC officials hadn't come at 1 p.m. So we're not talking about, it's talking about logistical charges. Are you talking about resources? Are you talking about the equipment? The staff, the INEC official is not there. So it's just, like you rightly said, it calls for disenfranchisement. We wonder whether it's a deliberate attempt to disenfranchise.
But is it, to be fair to INEC, how many states have they had this sort of a problem where they've had to cut it to batches? It's not only Lagos State it's happened. Most other states seem to have happened pretty easily.
Pretty easily. People in Plateau were complaining. And so for the sake of clarity, I chose Plateau because Plateau is a PDP state.
Yes.
So that people will not say,
Exactly.
that they are deliberately trying to disenfranchise APC states. It's a very simple matter of INEC's failure to scale. Very simple. INEC has shown that they have the capability to conduct proper elections and proper exercises when they are doing things in just one state at a time. So maybe the time has come for us to admit that INEC is not capable of covering such a large country as Nigeria at the same time.
Should it be a problem? Okay, we talk about America a lot, but look at India. India is a third world country. India is about 10 times Nigeria's size, and they handle the elections pretty.
India has been practicing uninterrupted democracy since 1947.
Okay.
We have been practicing something that we call democracy just for 15 years now. So we are still babies as compared to them. And besides, in India, they also tend to have all sorts of shenanigans being played out. It's just that it's not on the kind of comparative, it's not on the kind of scale that is being played out here. But again, it's because of the fact that India have, let me give an example. INEC has had single elections in the following states: Anambra, Ekiti, Edo, Sokoto, Osun, Ondo, and it's Kaduna or something. I forget the last one. These elections, give or take, have progressively improved.
Gotten better with
each one. That tells us a lot. The fear for 2015 is scale. Can INEC scale up? And for me, the answer is no, they can't. Nigeria is just too big for a body too small like INEC. And it's time for us to admit that harsh fact. But then it also calls to question whether our political parties themselves are ready to actually step aside and let the process flow smoothly.
So how do you